Welcome to the Nerd Pow Wow. Follow us on YouTube where we upload new videos every Friday, or check us out on your favorite podcast platform. Spoiler warning, we do deep dives on characters, storylines, and theory crafting. With that said, Rybane, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're doing an if-then. So, let's mix it up again with revisit one of our favorite topics, the if-thens. Personally, this week I was kind of debating some elemental power situations. For example, if Pyro encountered Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. So Pyro, being a fire manipulator, he cannot generate fire. He just manipulates it. He has to have a flame in order to do anything with it. Johnny Storm generates flame. So can Pyro manipulate Johnny Storm's flame? Can he manipulate the powers of the Human Torch? And how does that play out? He obviously couldn't be beat by him, but could he actually defeat him? Could he snuff his power? Could he minimize it to such a point where, just the tip of his nose was on fire when he punches him in it? I don't know. So it was interesting to start thinking of people that could manipulate elements, such as a Storm manipulates weather, but she can manipulate electricity, generating she can't manipulate. She can generate lightning. She can cause it to strike, etc. But then you turn around and have someone like Electro, who kind of manipulates electricity a bit. Can he deflect lightning? It starts. These are just matchups that you don't see very often, and I think you don't see them because there's a lot of oh shit, how would that work when it comes about? So,
well, I think that is the interesting thing, is how will it work, right? Didn't we did get Pyro versus the Human Torch in Deadpool, right?
Flame on!
We did, yes, we did.
We got a version of that. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I did too. Yeah.
When Captain America, he's gonna say his thing, flame on.
Who's that guy?
That was a true moment.
But yeah, I mean, that's just how the MCU ended up doing it. I can also see a scenario where, you have the person flame on, they're controlling those flames on their body. They're kind of a force within those flames controlling it. So I could see it even being like a test of wills between pyrokinesis, who has the stronger ability to manipulate that. Because the one person, of course, they can manipulate fire and change it and alter it and whatnot. But the person who's actually in the fire, on fire, it's turned into a body of fire, I would still think that they move their body through some kind of pyrokinesis, right? Because they don't have muscles that they can move their arms and with, so maybe they're moving themselves with their own will at that point.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I can't believe I completely blanked on the Deadpool encounter because he put him out. He put him out, and that
sure did.
He just straight stuffed him.
Well, I didn't even think about it until just then. I was like, we did get that.
My brain doesn't default to the MCU. My brain defaults to the comics. So I'm thinking of every scenario I could think of where those two may have encountered each other. Mm-hmm. But I just can't believe I did that. But yeah, there's all kinds of different fire manipulation abilities. I mean, for instance, the original Human Torch, the android Human Torch, the one that was part of the Invaders long before Johnny Storm, that was just a side effect of his creator when he made him. It was a side effect. When he's exposed to oxygen, he becomes engulfed in flames. So how did he? Is he just hot? You know what I mean? Is he just hot so he's burning so that his weapon is he burns you if he touches you? It wasn't until later that he's throwing fireballs.
Yeah.
If you're throwing fireballs, that's pyrokinesis. I mean, unless you're holding something molten, unless you're
a physical thing that you're throwing that's on fire.
Even if it was plasma, but where is that being generated? Where's that plasma? Where's that object, that solid being? Because fire, you're just agitating. You're just agitating air. I mean, it's just high speed. You know what I mean? It's That's another weird thing to think about too. Is could the Flash become on fire if he wanted to, becoming fast enough to create friction with the air?
I mean, he goes fast enough to go through time. You would think
but
he'd go fast enough to catch a fire.
They never really talk about him being able to generate heat.
Yeah,
he would be able to generate phenomenal amounts of heat.
I think in the at least in the television series, they made it a point to be like, okay, his clothing needs to have some kind of heat resistant element to it.
Yeah. Well, they usually in DC they always call that they're playing off the friction, and I understand friction, heat, tomatoes in a way, but actually being able to like catch fire, not just have something disintegrate from friction. He himself would be generating fire around in the air around him.
Because Johnny Storm needed a special suit not to burn all his clothes off when he flamed on.
Yeah, Marvel lamed out with the Reed Richards' unstable molecules. Reed Richards came up with a thing that could take every power. So if you can create clothes that could withstand every power, didn't you just create the perfect shield?
Yeah. Militarize that, please, Richard. The hell? You're supposed to be smart.
There's my if then. If Richards has costumes that can survive every power, then why hasn't he created armor that can withstand every power?
You know what? A general if then. If every Marvel character actually used their brains to the fullest extent.
So it looks like the android was the Human Torch, but his name is Jim Hammond.
Yeah, yep. He was the original Human Torch.
And so another flaming character I would think is Ghost Rider. Can he put Ghost Rider out?
That's Hellfire, though.
It's fire.
I know, but
it is a fire.
Fire's fire.
But talking about Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch, he actually had a sidekick named Toro, which was a kid who had some pyrokinetic abilities. But when he was around the Human Torch, he would engulf in flames. Only when he was around the Torch, if they were separate, he did not he was not engulfed in flames. It was kind of an interesting little dynamic there they had. The original Invaders were cool. You had those two, Namor, Captain America, and the original Union Jack, who was a great character. And Spitfire, I think her name was. She was a speedster. It was Spitfire. I'm almost positive her name was Spitfire, but the original Invaders were cool. Punching Nazis. It's the good old days.
Yeah. I wonder with what you're talking about with the these speedster characters and creating that friction. Maybe it's part of their ability, so that they don't catch on fire just running at the speed, whatever speed, right? Just their arms touching against their arm at that speed, just the act of running and the friction that would be caused just by the body rubbing together. I wonder if it's just, since their superpower relies on them having to go fast, it's a frictionless speed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to finagle it.
But I do like that idea though of doing an actual Barry Allen, he can just catch something on fire, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. And even at a distance, he does that. He does that his lightning punch, etc., where he's coming in. And you could literally, force air and create a heat punch.
Yeah,
which would be exceptionally hot. It would almost be like a flamethrower more than a fireball, because he would be generating a line of flame with his speed force. That's just interesting to think about. Do they generate a field? I mean, you could even, because they mess with time so much over there, you could even say that it's a temporal field of some type. So they're actually in a state they're in a different state of matter.
Yeah.
When they're using the speed force, they're in a different state of matter that doesn't interact with normal states of matter. I mean, you could science it out in comic book science, but you could comic book science it out pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I like to think about the fire manipulators, could they melt? Adamantium can be melted and then reanimated into something. Could they really potentially melt the skeleton off?
I don't believe that adamantium can be melted. I think it's
once it cures, it stays.
Yeah, it's created in a liquid form and kept in a certain state. And once
it can't be remelted.
You can't remelt it.
Okay,
I believe is there a way that they kind of explain that? Like, it's naturally, it's like when it's created, it's liquid, but when it's cured, it's done. That's why they
like carbonadium too.
Yeah, there's like a lot of that because that's the death of Wolverine. I mean, that's what they did. That's the way they finally did him in.
Remember in the movies where Wolverine had his
Lady Deathstrike, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, in the movie when he went to Japan, his claws were cut off by a heated up samurai sword.
Yeah, it wasn't a regular samurai sword though. That was
It wasn't. You're right, but still, it was hot enough to cut him.
Yeah, there was what was that sword?
Which was made of heated adamantium. It says.
Oh, so it's already in the superheated adamantium.
But that was the movie. Obviously, like you said, the movies and the comics are.
And that was
a little different.
Yeah, and also when you start doing things, because that was in the Japanese Wolverine, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, they take their own liberties with stuff too, just like anybody does when they take the thing. Because there's been a couple times with things that they didn't explain. For instance, with his claws. For instance, there's I believe her name was Raptor. I can't remember, but she was a descendant of Wolverine in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book, and she was seeking out one of his claws. It was like an historic. She was trying to steal one of his claws. She was a villain.
Yeah,
but
that's a cool little idea, having an arc where somebody's trying to go after one of the claws of Wolverine.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like that.
Good luck.
Cool. Yeah, right.
Maybe it wasn't Raptor. I think
go after the whole skeleton if that's the case.
Yeah.
There's been some funny stuff with that. I remember. I think it was in. They had a what if the heroes had lost, and Wolverine is a bloodthirsty demonic Wolverine. They literally feed him babies in this what if. It was a dark what if. But at one point in time, somebody, I think it was the Human Torch, maybe one of them completely melted all of the organic material off of the adamantium skeleton. So Wolverine was dead. I mean, there's no organic material. So I superheated him, and all of a sudden, so there was this adamantium skeleton sitting over there, and somebody animated it. And so you had Wolverine's skeleton running around. It was really good.
Oh, Inferno?
Inferno.
Okay.
Yep. So what if the X-Men lost Inferno? You should read that comic. It's phenomenal. Wolverine's mask, he's all black and he's still got his mask is kind of jagged. He's a horrible, horrible character in this. Totally twisted. But yeah. That what if was one of my favorite what ifs of all time. Was what if the X-Men lost Inferno? It was Mordo that just took all of his flesh off. Sim, the demon that rules Limbo with magic off and on, he animated Wolverine's skeleton and kills Madeline Pryor just as she gets the Phoenix Force. It's such a good series or one-off comic. He just one comic to read, if nothing more, nothing less. It was really good. Well, I mean, that's kind of the things I was thinking of. Darkwayne, you got any thoughts this week on some if-then stuff?
Yeah, so I'm going to paint you guys a picture. a little story.
Okay,
this is going to take place in the ThunderCat universe. 80s cartoons, love them. ThunderCats, love them. So, the Burbles, the little robotic bears, they are from a planet called Robert, and they have a space shuttle that comes to Third Earth. So during one of their journeys to Third Earth, they go through this asteroid belt. It just happens to appear out of nowhere. Asteroids are coming at them, little pieces, chunks, they're having to dodge and everything. Well, they don't dodge this black goo that just goes right onto the windshield of the spaceship. And because it's an 80s cartoon, they have windshield wipers.
Of course.
So they get out of their way. They continue on to Third Earth. So they make the Burble Village. The ThunderCats come and visit, kind of help out. And at one point, Lion-O's there, and he just sees this black goo sitting on one of the Burble huts. And so he goes over, and of course, Lion-O, big as an ox, but still has the mind of a juvenile, sticks his finger right in it. Goes right up his arm. All of a sudden, he's a Venom. He's a symbiote from the Marvel Universe.
All right.
So what does Lion-O do with these powers? Does he immediately freak out, or does he just feel the... Because Eddie Brock always liked the way the Venom suit felt on him. It made him feel powerful. It made him feel calm. He just really liked it. So does Lion-O still continue to be the Lord of the ThunderCats, or does he start to do some mischief, even go down the path of Mum-Ra? What do you think, Seraph? We'll throw it at you.
All right. So here's a question. In this scenario, has the Venom symbiote been attached to Peter Parker previously, or is this the first time it's attached to a host?
This one would be the first time. It was still in outer space. It was part of this asteroid cluster.
So this is specifically Venom, not just a symbiote.
I would say symbiote. I did say Venom, but it's a symbiote. The Black Goose symbiote.
So personality could be still up in the air.
Yep, true.
Gotcha. Well, I can see with Lion-O him being a little bit naive, and a little bit he's got a little bit of an ego to him, childish at points. So I could see him really leaning into some of the negative sides and ego of his character. Just because having that symbiote seems to bring out any of those kind of surface level things seem to be brought out a lot heavier with the symbiote. Now, I think he'd be awesome at defending and protecting people, but I'd be interested to see how that'd work. Now, I know the symbiote bonded with Peter Parker and kind of did the web sling stuff, right? So if it bonded with Lion-O, would it do cat stuff?
I would say yes.
Yeah, you would think so.
It would enhance his cat-like abilities.
It'd be a catbiote.
Catbiote.
So I would say maybe True Vision it would have instead of not just night vision. That's not good enough. It'd have True Vision, right? Some almost borderline supernatural type abilities in that aspect. I could see, big pouncing kind of attacks, stuff like that. I don't know. I guess, that's where my head goes to, I think.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind with me is the Sword of Omens. So Sword of Omens, he gets some guidance. Lion-O is kind of guided by the Sword of Omens. So you could have this really cool comic, cartoon, whatever you wanted to do, where it's almost three people living inside a Lion-O. You got the Sword of Omens is kind of the angel, the symbiote's kind of the devil, and you got Lion-O in the middle, and there's this struggle between the different paths. You could really do a good job with that. It would be neat to have, in the times they come together, the times they're like, well, this time we're going to have to cut his head off. That kind of...
Yay, we eat him!
Yeah, need him. But yeah, it would be kind of a cool dynamic to have that yin and yang between the Sword of Omens and the symbiote, and Lion-O kind of tied in the middle, choosing what path he'd like to go. It's that's very cool.
Well, another thing to look at is there was one episode where Mum-Ra turned Lion-O bad, put a hypnotic spell on him, where he actually attacked the ThunderCats, but the Sword of Omens would not work for him when he was attacking the ThunderCats. Right. So if this symbiote's bad whatsoever, the Sword of Omens might not even work.
Yeah, it's possible it would abandon him, or it could be
or help him defeat. Because also, loud sound gets rid of the symbiote. Well, the Sword of Omens can vibrate at a very high pace to the point of shattering sounds. It's a way to
that did thunder.
Yeah, it can get rid
of him.
It could probably get rid of the symbiote.
Would also be interesting to know what if the symbiote bonded with the Sword of Omens?
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
So now Lion-O has a sword that's dual, that has a duality to it. So Sword of Omens can kind of react one way when he's doing good things and another way when he's doing bad things, depending on how he's handling it.
I think in the end, Lion-O would have to be good, because for that matter, even if he were to go to the dark side, the ThunderCats wouldn't let that happen. And Panthro is a man he can build anything out of anything. So he would find a way to get rid of that symbiote.
Yep. And you could do neat stuff with that too, and make kind of a Venom was originally like a dark Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So you could kind of go with that kind of trope and have once Lion-O separates from it, it gets somebody that doesn't like Lion-O and becomes kind of a dark Lion-O.
And it becomes the Panthero.
Yeah, the Panthero.
The Panthero.
The Panthero.
Yeah. So but a dark Lion-O, so he's got this an evil version of him out there. You could do all kinds of neat stuff with that kind of.
It attached to an evil mutant or even Mumra.
I will be your loyal slave.
That would attach to Mumra. That would be worse than Eddie Brock being the Venom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or Cletus Cassidy being Carnage.
A psycho.
Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy's psycho. But yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. And sticking with the ThunderCats theme, you off camera we talked about the idea of somebody mentioned the idea of if ThunderCats were dogs.
Thunder dogs.
Oh, yeah. So, but the neat thing is if the ThunderCats were dogs, then what would each one of them be? What dog would they be?
I think Panthro would be a bulldog.
I had him as a Doberman or Rottweiler, just because they're actually tough. You know what I mean?
I could see Kit and Cat being Chihuahuas.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And Lion-O kind of has to be a shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to be a leadership dog of some sort. Shepherd, it definitely makes sense.
He would have to be a shepherd.
And Tigra maybe a Labrador?
Thinking of a Labrador as a badass just kind of bothers me.
And then when I think of, let's just say, Chitara, maybe she'd be a poodle.
Poodle.
You've been around some kick-ass poodles in your day? These weren't the ThunderCats were not house cats.
No, that's true.
That is true.
Those are wild dogs. So one of them be a wolf.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, wolves, which there are different variations of wolves, but you'd have to have you'd maybe do Lion-O as a timber wolf or even a dire wolf that makes him special. The other ones, Panther obviously is a black wolf, it's kind of large, dark wolf. I don't know the breeds of wolves very well. You have timber wolves, gray wolves, red wolves, but I don't know what makes them different then. But
what? Maybe they are house. Maybe they are house cats because they're not feral cats.
True. Instead of the eye on the sword, it'd be a big dog nose.
Right.
Give me smell beyond smell.
Oh my god! But I was thinking of like dogs that are actually badass. I think Tigra would be a husky.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The Doberman husky, they're similar. Tigra and Lion-O, you've got they're Lion and Tiger, they're both badass cats. Either one could really be the leader in a way. So you got the husky and the Doberman, or not the Doberman, the shepherd. So you have that blend. That's what I would do with those. I do think Kit and Kat being small dogs, that's hilarious to me. I think those as Chihuahuas or something is epic.
Doberman Pinschers.
Yeah, the little miniature.
Or those toy poodles.
To be fair, we should double check that they haven't already made this television show in the 80s, because didn't everybody copy off of that? I'm sure there's a dog version of
yeah, right.
Of ThunderCats. There has to be, right?
It's like, speaking of that, there was ThunderCats and Silverhawks. What else was there around that time that you've mentioned that? Right.
It was the aquatic people, tiger sharks.
That's it.
Tiger shark.
Yeah, so it's kind of a copy off ThunderCats, just made them shark.
Yeah, I mean they really did. They were, and the funny part is they weren't all sharks. Like one of them was a walrus.
That's great.
Maybe there's not that many types of sharks, so you had to branch out.
Full episodes of tiger sharks on YouTube.
On YouTube, okay.
Full episodes of tiger sharks.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch some Silverhawks too.
Yeah, sometimes you guys. I don't know if you guys watch much Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Thundar the Barbarian, the original Space Ghost, not that weird talk show shit. The Herculoids, they were fantastic. Like they were great. The Herculoids were like almost like primitive people that lived with. They had alien dinosaur-like creatures. Like there was a dragon-like creature, a rhinoceros creature. That were kind of prehistoric. They were great shows. They weren't kiddified. Like they were shows that you could like as an adult. They were really good. I follow a page on Facebook that's a group on Facebook that's completely dedicated to that genre of cartoons, and they were great. They were late 70s, maybe even 60s. I don't know. But they were really good. Thundar the Barbarian is I think a lot of things about Thundar the Barbarian were captured in some movies that we take for granted all the time. So Thundar the Barbarian came out in 1980.
Okay.
And it did take a little bit from Star Wars. You had Ookla, the mock, was very Chewbacca-esque. He didn't look like Chewbacca. He wasn't. I don't know. He just had that like partner of the hero. He kind of he just kind of had a Chewbacca feel to him. But holy crap, was that a great series? The whole premise was that it's current world, and there's a intergalactic object like an asteroid or whatever passes between the moon and the Earth, and it really screws up our atmosphere, and it changes all kinds of things around. We dive into a Stone Age type things, but magic and stuff is now around. It's altered everything, and so there's Thundar, Ookla, and Princess Ariel. And Princess Ariel's a magic user. Thundar has something called a sun sword. It kind of acts like a lightsaber, won't lie, but it's a flaming sword. And then you had Ookla, but it's a great series. I mean, it's just those original shows were. You know what? I may have misspoke when I called that Hanna-Barbera. I thought that was a Hanna-Barbera.
Oh. I just thought they did more stuff than I was...
It is. Yeah. It's 21 and a half episodes, an animation house. It was by Ruby Spears production, but it was formed by Hanna-Barbera. So it was. I was almost certain that it had something to do with Hanna-Barbera, but I'll bet you that the great shows that I'm talking about were part of that Ruby Spears. Space Ghost, the Herculoids, they all fell under that subcategory of Ruby Spears Productions. So that's where that is. Man, the Herculoids it was great. It was a great show. I'm missing one too. I'm trying to think of it. I'm missing another really good one there that Space Ghost had a twins, they were very much like the Wonder Twins. They even had a monkey.
Wonder Twins.
Yeah, they were very much like the same kind of thing, and it like the same animation. I'm sure it was the same animation, but it was good. Strongly suggest all of those.
Going back to the symbiote, I was thinking, so say they do get it off Lion-O. Lion-O, the Sword of Omens doesn't like the symbiote, gets rid of it. It's going to slither on its way to Mum-Ra. It's just what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Monkey Man.
I think Mum-Ra could finally defeat the ThunderCats if it had the symbiote at his side. Because he wouldn't have to probably regenerate at all. He could just stay in his main form. And if you remember, if he could just stay in his main form, he'd probably defeated the ThunderCats multiple times over. But he always got knocked down to weak Mum-Ra, had to go in his casket Mum-Ra. And just, I think
the way that it ends, though, is that the symbiote wants the power of Lion-O more. So Lion-O sacrifices himself to be the host, so that the symbiote will abandon Mum-Ra and become that, and Lion-O has to have the symbiote.
And he'd be selfless enough to do it too.
Yep.
Like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Go Lion-O. So I think he's going to be good.
There we go.
He's going to be he's good. Lion-O is just good. That's what his heart is. He's a youth trying to do right. Sometimes he gets a little cranky, throws a little tantrum, but he eventually does what's right.
You know what? That's a good point. And I think you're right. I think eventually he would find the right way, because that's how the writers would definitely want it to be.
Yeah. Sorry.
They're just going to bully Maguire the entire time, Lion-O.
Right.
So,
like, what's going on
here? Yeah.
It's funny how those cartoons of that era really stole from one another. The more I think about it, I mean, like Snarf and Orko.
Snarf.
You know, that whole thing of having this team of heroes. Who's winning there? You or the cat?
It's not John.
Titus likes to be cradled, but she's sometimes she's a little bit ornery about
it.
She doesn't like to be cradled at some time.
I guess sometimes she doesn't.
So where's Bubbles? Bubbles needs to be cradled.
Maybe she got out.
Did they all come upstairs with you when you were up there?
Nah, Titus comes up here, but Lulu and Yuna stay downstairs with Bubbles.
Okay.
Yeah, Bubbles come. I guess I'll tolerate.
Yeah, I've got a snoring dog down here.
I don't know where Lou is today.
Yeah,
she usually makes an appearance on the couch, but
she's usually bouncing around.
Yeah, Lila's not up here today. I don't know what she's doing. I fed her before the show, so she probably ate and crashed out.
So, all right, bedtime. I ate.
But yeah, there's a lot of potential there to that thing. That it kind of kills me. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be an if then for something to happen where there's something that taints, like the Sword of Omens, or taints Lion-O. You could create some new dynamic. So when they do this kind of thing, where they bring something like the ThunderCats or something like back, instead of retelling, like kind of like this, what they did with X-Men 97, instead of trying to recreate it and put all these new twists on it and make it different or modern or whatever, just continue it. You know, there's people that will watch it. I mean, X-Men 97 is the screaming example. Yeah. If they just had a continuation of the original ThunderCats or the original, a lot of those shows, people would flock to it. And it doesn't have to be live action. You don't have to go in and try to make it this whole new live action retelling. Don't do that. Just make a cool new cartoon, and people will come and watch it.
Because they made the new ThunderCats in 2011, and it was good. But like you said, they retold the story, and they told it in different ways. Like Lion-O and Tigro were brothers, and for the longest time, Tigro won up Lion-O. But then when so they were anti-machine, and finally, I I can't remember the race that kept going at him and kept losing, but finally they drew a pact with machine people that had machines, and they just wiped out the ThunderCats. And that's when Lino took over because their father had passed. But and it was good, but like to your point, they retold the story, and they didn't really have to. They could have just continued it.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere else.
And he didn't have to do weird shit like Panthro stopped shaving his head.
Yeah.
Terrible. I hated Jean-Luc Picard Panthro. Still mad about it.
You didn't like the Saturn rings?
Get that toilet bowl off your head. What the hell's wrong with you?
But I've heard rumors for years that they're going to make a live action ThunderCats, and I would probably be first in line to see that.
I've heard
there's no doubt in my mind.
Everybody's always attaching Henry Cavill to that as Lionel.
Yes. Oh, he'd be perfect.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I like Henry Cavill a lot, but I feel like we're kind of him, Pedro Pascal, a couple of these guys. Like suddenly they're just in every single thing, and it becomes more about throwing out this person so that you want to go see them than the show. I'd rather almost have if we're doing something cool like ThunderCats, throw an unknown in there, some really quality actor that hasn't done much. Let us fall in love with them because of ThunderCats, not go see ThunderCats because we love the actor that's playing in ThunderCats. I'd much rather have the prior.
I like that take on that, but also I think Henry Cavill would do a good job with it.
He would.
But to your point, Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic is probably the main reason I want to go see Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
because they bombed the last one when they had Michael B. Jordan in it.
Yeah, Fantastic Fours don't have a good track record.
Yeah. So,
but
but
Pedro Pascal, I'll give him his acting chops. I'm over the moon for the guy for how much success he has, and he is a quality actor. I like seeing him, but I guess I kind of understand some people's burnout with the actor, but
and I really like him too. I really do, but I will say from the previews, I think his acting chops, like you said, are going to carry it.
Yeah,
I think he can pull it off. The more I'm seeing it, the more I'm like getting less and less hateful towards the casting. Even though I like the guy, but I still think that it would have been better to have maybe someone we've seen before, but not somebody that we're throwing star power behind it. Like even the original Avengers.
Yeah.
With each one of those, like, what's his face? Iron Man. What's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Before Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. has been a household name for a while, but the guy's life is like a roller coaster. He had all kinds of problems.
Oh yeah.
And he was just up and down everything. And then, so yes, he was famous, but he wasn't like this like A-lister. Now he's an A-lister. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They find someone like that. Find someone that fits the role perfect and can take it somewhere rather than trying to throw the known person at it. It just that star power thing bothers me.
The only counter I have to that is I would take somebody who is very well known, but also has a deep connection or care for the lore behind that character. Give me a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool any day. Give me a John Berthal Punisher any day. I love that those characters really take their characters very seriously. They'll
100%.
That they fight for the character, and really they
embody it in a way.
I think they embody not only the character, but they want to do the character justice. Give me one of those actors over anybody any day. That's my.
I concur 100%.
Yep,
100%.
I think one guy to go to Mariah Bane's point is Patrick Stewart. He was known for Captain Picard, and then he became Xavier. And so Stewart he was a household name, but like you said, he wasn't a huge name. But then he became Xavier. I mean, he was perfect. He was a bald guy he worked.
Yeah.
Talk about lightning striking twice. Patrick Stewart, between his roles in Star Trek and then also the X-Men movies. Yeah.
And you can buy him as both like Jean-Luc Picard and Professor X are two distinctly different people, even embodied by the same actor.
Yeah.
It's not like the same actor, just, the same character, one in space, one with the mutants. They're 100% different people. And that's the skill of Patrick Stewart.
Because I don't think someone like Tom Holland can do that. Tom Holland, you guys watched Uncharted. He was Spider-Man in Uncharted. Just the stuff, his acrobatics, his movements. It was Spider-Man playing in Uncharted. I don't know if Tom Holland can not be Spider-Man.
I think I think the directors like that he is so athletic and so agile and like limber with that stuff that they don't really have to do as much with stunt actors. They can do more face shots while they're recording. I think that's why he gets that role a little bit more often now. He might end up getting the Brendan Fraser, treatment where eventually, he has an injury and he's no longer, doing that. Got to slow down those. I just hope Hollywood's nicer to him than they were Brendan Fraser.
Right.
But when actors do their own stunts like that, I don't know.
I think he's trying to get away
from
that, though.
Yeah.
I hope not. But I think he's trying to get away from it. Like, the movie's kind of weird. It's not for everybody. But he was in a movie called The Crowded Room. And he is not Spider-Man in that movie. No, it's a period piece. It's in the late 70s or early 80s. And he's unjustly arrested and he does time in prison, and it's how it's the fallout from all of that. It's he has to he becomes a little heroic because he's they're trying to figure out who's actually committing the crime, but it's different. It's a whole different kind of take on it. He plays more of the nerdy kid than...
Yeah, he's got time to figure it out. He's great. He's a good person, good actor. And
there's some actors who are typecast for a reason, because that's their role, right? Like, that's what they know how to do. Jason Statham, I know the one character he's played,
Yeah, that's the only character I know he's played.
New time.
Or, unfortunately, Clark Gregg. He's Phil Coulson.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him in other stuff, but he's Phil Coulson.
I saw him in something the other day that I was like, holy shit, that's Clark Gregg. I didn't even recognize him. What was it? Well, I'm trying to think of what it was that I saw him in. It blew my mind. I'm like, whoa. Oh, he was in an episode of the Murder Bot. And I was like, a few episodes. I was like, hey, that's Clark Gregg. But another show you guys have got to watch.
I got to.
Murder Bot is phenomenal. So fucking good. I'm like it's worth the price of admission for Apple TV for a month.
We just started watching Resident Alien. That TV show is hilarious.
Yeah,
I can't believe I slept on that for so long. The first episode I was hooked. That's so funny.
It's like, yeah, I gotta watch this.
Alan Tudyk is another one of those actors. Just about every actor from Serenity, from Firefly.
Yeah.
I would watch what they're in. And Alan Tudyk is another one. He's in Superman.
Is he?
He voices the main robot of Superman's robots, the Superbots that maintain the Fortress of Solitude. But the character is a character. I mean, as soon as he speaks, I'm like, that's Alan Tudyk.
I know.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, he's just... Do you ever watch...
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, yes. He plays a villain in the first season of Doom Patrol that's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot that was him. Yeah. Doom Patrol is awesome. Wayne, did you see Doom Patrol?
I haven't seen Doom Patrol.
Oh, Wayne, it's so good. It's so good. It's got Brendan Fraser in there.
Doom Patrol.
He
Brendan
voices robot guy. Yeah. What's the name?
Yeah, Robot Man. I think it's Robot Man.
It's probably just Robot Man. Yeah.
Is that a young one? Brendan Fraser?
This is recent.
Oh, it's recent. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Doom Patrol ran from 2019 to 2023.
Okay.
It's a good series.
It
Is it on Apple TV?
No, it was on what was that? What did that stream
HBO
on?
Max.
WB maybe? What's that?
HBO Max. That's where I watched it.
That's where it's at now. Is that where it was originally? It might be, yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's
a DC property, I'm sure.
It is, yeah. Especially if it was on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely DC. It's a definitely DC property.
It's worth watching. It's I like Mad Mag. I like all of them.
Yep.
Or Mad Jane or
Jane, Crazy Jane. Yeah,
Crazy Jane. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I that actress for one, I like that actress a lot.
Yeah.
She's really just a good actress. But she did a great. She was also in Orange Is the New Black, I think.
Oh wow.
I think she was one of the two girls were always trying to be pretty in the Orange Is the New Black. They would like stream their stuff.
Yeah.
But she's I'm looking up her name because I want to give her the right credit because she's just that good.
Oh yeah.
Star Trek reference.
Diane Guerrero.
My favorite episode was when she played when you went into her psyche. That was my favorite episode. Yeah. She's such a good actress.
And especially seeing how in her psyche they actually had different bodies. They were different people. So and to watch her physically embody that person that we've now seen, their mannerism. She's just good.
Yeah,
she's just good.
This character Wayne, she's has multiple personalities that she can pull from, and they all kind of have their own like power in a way, or like kind of ability to them. But yeah, you don't know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with her. So it's an interesting character concept. All these heroes are damaged in some way. Like
every one of them.
And by heroes is very generous.
Horribly damaged. They're fucked up.
Yeah.
There's about it. Every one of them. Even the professor that puts them all together, he himself is messed up. They're all messed up. Like the Chief, he's just but it's a great show.
Oh, Chief is awful. I like Danny the Street. That's one of my favorite characters.
He's now in the comics. I think he's Danny the City now.
Oh, really? Wow, he got upgraded. That's great.
He's
really moving on up.
Danny the City.
Yeah, Danny the Street's great. It's a great to have a character that is a street.
Yeah.
Now he's a city.
Yeah, now he's a city.
Now he's gonna be a country.
We had Danny the Street. Well, it started up. We had Danny the Brick, Danny the Street, Danny the Alley, and it's Danny the World.
Danny the World. Wow! Oh my gosh, he's got
really
ego going on. Yep. Oh man, yeah. Doom Patrol was sweet.
I went the opposite way. Apparently, he was deconstructed by the gentrifiers.
So he's no longer a world.
No, he got gentrified basically. This is why I love that show or that comic. And he's now Danny the Brick, and he's protected by Crazy Jane.
That's so
oh my god! That's
bunch
so
of hipsters
good.
started moving into Danny the.
Oh my
that's
god!
Great.
That's fucking hilarious. The gentrifiers as a group. But Mr. Nobody was Alan Tudyk's character. That's right. But God, it's just good.
Yep,
it's just good.
What it gives me kind of like League. It almost gives me like Watchmen vibes in a way, or like I don't know. It gives me just kind of that. Dark. Yeah, I guess Watchmen's too dark.
Doom Patrol's not dark, but it's a different kind. It's almost like a tragic dark versus violent dark.
Yes,
like Doom Patrol's kind of tragic.
Yeah,
like even Robot Man. When Robot Man was a race car driver, and he was a complete scumbag. There was two ways about it. He was a womanizing asshole, but he was killed in a car accident. And the Chief basically got a hold of his brain and was like, I can build a robot body, make this. So he's this non-feeling, doesn't have any sensation of touch, basically immortal robot with a human brain.
Yeah.
He can't do anything he would normally have done. He can't eat, he can't sleep. There's no physical contact. He's just trapped. I mean, he's trapped. It's almost like a weird prison. It's like his brain is in a prison. That comic and that the show embodied the comic very well.
Yeah,
it really did. Because oof,
that's
the actress, Rita Farr, she was this beautiful actress, but she was starting to get into the twilight of her career. You know, the younger whatever actresses was coming up, and she takes this like shitty role to try to do it, and encounters some weird chemical that makes it so that she just basically turns into a blob of crap.
No.
Yeah, and she can, but she gains control of it so that she can maintain her form, but sometimes when she gets upset, she starts blobbing out again.
Starts crying, and her like face starts drooping a little bit, and then she just explodes into this big ball.
When she really gets her power, though, she becomes Elastigirl, and she has actually really good powers. Like, she becomes pretty powerful.
Yeah.
When she has,
well, she sucks in the show. Her abilities are not good.
Well,
they haven't gotten to that point yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, facts. But I mean, she turns into a blob and she starts mowing people down. I mean, it's
true.
Pretty
are
awful,
people part of the blob?
Just think of if a human just like randomly in different parts just started bulging out and continuing to grow. Like that's basically what it is. Just a soup of blobby body that expands out.
And in the comics, she was more of in the comics, she was more of a giant person instead of this blob thing they did in the Doom. But she could grow. She was a giant woman basically, but she could also turn giant and stretch, do the Mr. Fantastic, the Elastic Man, Plastic Man kind of thing. But yeah, it's interesting. But even the Negative Man, that's what he was called.
Negative Man.
But yeah, they just was really cool characters. It was just a neat. Couldn't endorse it more.
Kind of go back to what you started off with, Mariah Bane. I like the idea of maybe Iceman versus Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
Iceman is ice, but Sub-Zero he's an ice manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he only can create I don't think he can manipulate ice that is not in his hands. So it's not like
I always kind of got the idea that he freezes people though.
He does. But so could he take like how Pyro can take Johnny Storm, who's 10, 20 feet away, and pull his flame? Can Sub-Zero do the same to Iceman?
Yeah, because I'm wondering if his powers are removal of heat.
Well, I think Sub-Zero can like throw the ice, but I'm not sure he moves it with his mind so much. I think it's more martial arts based. So
he kind of creates it in his hand, like ice sickle or ice pick.
Yeah. He physically freezes people. So obviously, you're not it's almost like he's removing heat, which would be really neat with if he can do that to the degree where he can remove Bobby's ice, you know what I mean, like pull his ice, which you really can't do because Bobby becomes ice. Iceman's unique in that he is ice. When he turns into ice, he does not have an ice shell. He doesn't have
he is ice.
He is ice. It's really, it doesn't work really well, but
because how do his organs still work if he's ice?
Yeah, he's been shattered before. And somehow forms a puddle and he's Bobby again. But they do the same thing. They do the same thing with Hydro Man, Sandman. Hell, they've even had Hydro Man and Sandman run into each other and lose their powers because they just turned into mud, which is just bizarre to me. But took them a while to separate. Yeah, they had to separate from each other.
You know what?
Yeah, how you
we're talking about like fire manipulation, like pyrokinesis, like that type of elemental control. Well, comparing that to ice, I get usually you put fire versus ice, but as far as stages of matter, you have fire, which is it's more based off of a gas, I guess, at least the way it's depicted.
Absolutely.
So I guess would you do water vapor instead? Would that be the equivalent thing for manipulation, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, I've always kind of felt that heat or fire-based elementals in comics and ice-based elemental in comics and water, it's all the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Because you're just like one is removing heat and one is giving heat. So so either one doesn't have the ability to slow down heat enough to form ice, or the other one doesn't have enough, speed it up enough. So it's all friction. It's all just agitation. So the idea behind it is it's crazy because, like, to me, you would have the ability to do both if you mind controlled your powers. And like I said, there was a character named I think his name was Thermite. He was an enemy of the Squadron Supreme as part of the Redeemers. But he actually could do both fire and ice, but it was so volatile in his system, he had to have a regulator pack. Because
Irene Richards.
Yeah, he had.
Nice.
No, he wasn't. The Squadron Supreme was an alternate Earth, but he had a really cool costume. I really liked his costume. Straight down the middle, one half looked like a fire person's costume, and another one looked like an ice person's costume. And then he just had goggles and like a breather thing, and then he had his pack that he had to wear. He'd shoot fire out of one side, and I just liked the whole character. They killed him off kind of stupid, but I liked the look of the character.
I do like that kind of yin and yang elemental ability characters thing. They did that with My Hero Academia, one of the shows I watched, but they have a character who, a lot of characters have like a quirk or some little ability to them. This is one of the few people who has two quirks. He has a fire and an ice quirk, which works on the same side. So that's it's pretty. I like seeing that duality. Kind of.
Are you guys familiar with the Squadron Supreme? You ever heard of them? Or do you know what those are? Quite literally, Marvel made the Justice League.
Okay.
Like exact duplicates.
And it's called the Squadron
on their own Earth, and did kind of like almost like a what if the Justice League decided to take over and impose their. They called it the Utopia program, trying to make the Earth perfect. Did you just have a fly or something fly by your camera?
I did, yeah.
I was like, what the hell was that? But your eyes,
like how to get in here?
I don't know. But I mean, literally, they had like Dr. Prism was the Green Lantern, the Wizard was the Flash, Tom Thumb was Atom. They had Nighthawk, which was Batman. Hyperion was Superman. I mean, their powers were like it was 100%. But they've now introduced them into mainstream Marvel. They exist in the 616 now.
Nice. Which
is Power Princess. I'm never going to remember the Aquaman counterpart guy's name. But the Golden Arrow. They had a Black Canary counterpart. They had the Blue Eagle. I mean, it was crazy. But it was really well done. They even had a guy named Nuke who was like Firestorm.
A nuke.
It was
Nuke.
Did he go boom?
But it was just a 12-issue series that I could not. Again, it was really well done. It was almost like a what if then type thing.
Yeah.
They kind of do their own thing, and it's even the person who objects to it is the Batman character. So he goes off and forms his own team to figure out how to stop him. I mean, it's kind of
that's pretty close on the nose.
Yeah, I'm like, it was. You couldn't be more on the nose. Hyperion was even an alien. I mean, Power Princess was from an island of women. I mean, it was. I don't know how they did it. They had to have had an agreement. I actually think the Squadron Supreme was created before the series where I found them. That little special Squadron Supreme miniseries. Because I think there was like a Squadron Supreme versus DC type thing. I think there was a time when it was some kind of collab. But like I was telling you guys earlier about the Amalgam comics. The Amalgam comics, just Google Amalgam comics and see some of the creatures that they created. It was great. Like they had Beast Boy and Beast. So like a green beast that could transform. I mean, they did some neat things. In that series, and it was a collaboration between Wolverine and Batman. Of course, was kind of neat. You just had this thing, Superman and Captain America. They had all kinds of neat stuff with that. Storm and Wonder Woman. Good stuff. They were neat reads. But I really liked Spider-Man and Superboy. That was my favorite combination. Like, that character was cool. He was a neat character. But yeah. Lots of people have done with if-thens, what-ifs, and that type of thing. And I mean, it's an infinite possibility.
It's fun to talk about too.
I know. It's so good.
Like what we're doing now. What we're doing now, making up our own if-thens.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, hey, if anybody has any if-thens they would like to share, feel free to drop it in the comment section while you're liking and following the video. That said, nerds, we'll catch you later.
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, step aside and watch how my adoring fans flock to me.